And if we add that back in, and minor is very common in depressed countries like Russia and Lithuania. So a lot of folk music is very minor, actually, unlike country. Somebody told me that blues is a good man feeling bad and country is a bad man feeling good. Speaking of Trump, just kidding. I would say more, but he told me not to go political, so I ain't going, you know? So that's what these scales are built out of, and if you want to learn more, buy my DVD, and I will try to explain thoroughly what are scales and where do strings come from, and you know what kind of trees you need to plant in your backyard so they would grow cigar box guitars, and you know all the kind of good stuff. So it's more common. So what happens? Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Mr. Dave Beaton. He's the commander-in-chief of this radio station. Yes, you are. Assistant. Somebody corrected me. Oh. You're right. That's actually true to any household. Yes. Where's my Miss Ohio? Where's my commander-in-chief? Oh, she left. Am I that boring? I'm really trying to be entertaining here. But I guess younger generation lost. Yes, finally.
Do you recommend the glass slide over metal, or just personal preference?
Well, it's what happens is when the action is really good on the guitar or a cigar box guitar or any string instrument with frets, it takes very little pressure to hit the fret and create this buzzing. So the same mass of glass is lighter than the same amount of brass. So that's why I use the glass slide, because I play this other guitar, that's mine, and it's set up in such a way that if I was to use a brass, it would just fall on the neck and it wouldn't create this slide effect. But whichever one you like. I've seen people. The first slides were just the bottleneck, so they would get rid of the whole bottle and they would only leave the bottleneck, and then they actually still for sale. Barrios wine bottles, that's considered like exotic, you know, and it's actually filed, you know, so you wouldn't cut your finger, you know. And some places, like in Lithuania, we don't even have the word slide for Lithuanian. We actually call this bottleneck. That's all what it's called, you know.
They have ceramic slides too, so it's in between.
Yeah, ceramic,
Yeah.
what are the materials? Let's run down through all 50 of them. Just kidding. But metal, stainless steel, he's funny. Wood, well, wood wouldn't sound a worth of anything.
Jackknives.
What?
Jackknives.
Jackknives?
That's how they originally played the...
I haven't seen those, no.
Yeah, the old blues guys would take a penknife out
Uh-huh.
and slide with that.
Jackknives. That's amazing. I've seen some blues players in the bar. They have like a full band show, and what they do, they walk up to somebody and grab a bottle, but they look at, it has to be fairly empty, otherwise you're going to spill it while you're playing in it, you know. Because it's going to foam up, you know, and then it's not going to look good. So Eastern European scale, yes. So not just the scale, because you can play like very American songs, you know, with the same minor scale, but the true character comes in how you play it. So like Dave Beaton pointed out, tell them about how you slide down instead of sliding up. So like in blues, what you heard a lot is me sliding up into the note as opposed to down from it. So let's recap. Let's unplug it. Something like that, right, Steve? You did that Parade Ground Blues. What did you do? Just like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I like that. I like that part. Yeah. Yeah, that was really good. So.
Doing a great job, too.
Oh, thanks. You're right. I learned it all from you. So it's very common for Eastern European, Middle Eastern, and some Russian parts to actually play like this. And if you were to write it down to chart it as a charted musical notes, you would not be able to do it because it leaves the note. It actually goes outside of it. Kind of like the Hindu traditional music. Instead of using 12 half steps before they get an octave higher, they have 24. So instead of using half a step, they use a quarter of a step, which is never used in traditional, not just never used in Western music, whether it's pop or folk, unless you're using slide, and that's when you're actually traveling, not just from note to note, but you're hitting all the frequencies in between those two notes. Like a perfect glissando. Glissando is Italian term for sliding up or down. Are you familiar with that? Steve is. So let me try to utilize these techniques and play this minor scale on the cigar box guitar, and maybe you'll hear something very different. Slide all the time. Oh, thank you.
Oh, excellent.
You don't need to have it hanging on you.
What?
You can play like that. The slide tradition comes from Hawaii. The instrument itself is built by Irish settlers that came to the United States, and the tuning, it comes from the lack of musical education because it's only 3 notes and 2 of them are the same. That's true, right? Did I say anything wrong, Steve?
No,
Right?
the strings, you're right.
Yeah.
Anybody can play. Very easy.
So at the same time, you can add more stuff to it, and maybe 100 years from now, it's going to be like a 3rd annual,
300.
No, it's going to be like the
100 years.
iPad Guitar Box Festival. Like they're going to make guitars out of iPad. It's going to be, it has a, this is like iPad 4 has a different interface, and it's more traditional for the Florida rednecks, and Mississippi rednecks used Samsung tablets. You don't know. This is for rich people. This is a cigar box. Rich people bought cigars and they smoked them. It's a very isolated practice of a very specific social layer in the society, and look how it was utilized by the bottom layer. Not that it's good to layer anybody, but everybody wants to be the cream on the top, but it's just amazing. And you have me, somebody from Lithuania, you know, half the time.
You'll be 123 years
Oh
old.
my God, yeah. I
Like
mean,
me.
you'll be like Dracula. So yeah. So hopefully you're enjoying this comedy show plus instructional stuff, and hopefully I've captured not only the baby boomer generation, but also the younger generation that actually, maybe you'll like, iPads and the Samsung Galaxy, the tablets, you can utilize that. Yeah, it's pretty smart. And maybe next time, instead of buying your grandchild a PlayStation 4, you'll buy him a Cigar Box guitar and be like, oh look how many games you can play on this one, Eastern European, blues, country, bluegrass, all the games, all the newest games, and you can play them online. Plug it in and you're online, right? Расцветали яблони и груши, поплыли туманы далеко. Выходил на берег Катюша, на высокий берег, на крутой. Выходила, песню заводила про того гремучего орла, про того, чьи письма берегла. Ходила на берег Катюша, на высокий берег, на крутой. Выходила, песню заводила от того гремучего орла. Thank you. So that was the workshop on how to learn the cigar box guitar. And,